Kit Kats can read.
Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome to another video. In today's video I'm here to share with you my February TBR. So it's very ambitious, but I'm going to be picking and choosing from this pile like always. I don't exactly go like here's 5 to 10 books that I want to get all read in the month. I'm like here's like 20 and I'm going to choose from these books because I've got various sort of like challenges as well to go with this, so I thought that that would be like a great way to do it. So they're all split into like different sections. So first of all I'm going to start with the 2 books that are on my reread list. So the 2 books this month that I've chosen is Wicked by Jennifer Armentrout, was the first book that's in the Wicked trilogy, and then I've also picked City of Ashes, which is book number 2 in the Mortal Instruments series. This I'm rereading along with Dane Cobain and somebody else, so I was just like, yeah, so we're like reading this as a threesome. And yeah, looking forward to sharing my thoughts with the 2 other guys. I'm really excited to get back into this. And Wicked, yeah, I honestly can't remember anything that happened in Wicked, so this would help if I reread this and then I can continue on with this trilogy. And yeah, so that'll be fun. So the next section is monthly recommendations, and I'll just let you guys know what that basically is again. I've got this jar that contains everybody's top choices of the top reads of 2017, and I pulled 2 out so that I can read the books that you guys are loving. And the 2 books I pulled out for this month, the first of which is Bird Box by Josh Malerman. A couple of people mentioned that this book was really good, and this was on their top list of the year. And the other one was The Bone Season by Samantha Channon, which is the first book that is in a series. I've had this for a while and I've yet to read it, so it's good that this is on my TBR. So the next section, I have a 52-week challenge jar where I pull out 4 books that correspond to the weeks, and so these are my choices. So the first challenge is to read a standalone, so for this one I put Good and Gone by Megan Fraser Blakemore. And I thought, you know, this is a standalone that's about a road trip, so I'm looking forward to this one. The next challenge is to read a book that makes you cry, so I thought, you know, that doesn't really specify sad cry or happy cry, so I thought this one's going to make me happy cry. This is Secrets of a Teenage Heiress by Katie Birchall. It looks like it's going to be very fun and hilarious, and that it's going to make me laugh, crying of laughter especially. The next challenge is to read a banned book, and Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell is listed on the banned book list. I checked on Goodreads and it's on there. This is a reread for me and I need to get it reread. And the last challenge is to finish a series, so I put on this Allegiant by Veronica Roth. I am ready to dive into this again. I started to and I got really into it and then I stopped because I got spoiled on what happened at the end, so I know what happens. I know, I think a lot of people got spoiled in this, so I would just like to see the final conclusion of this. Not sure how I'm going to feel about it, but we shall see. The TBR jar challenge for this month is a book that is published this year. So for this one, I thought I would slot on my review book of The Bells by Donielle Clayton, which comes out this month, so I'm really excited to get into this. This is one of my highly anticipated book releases of February, so I'm very excited that I have this book in my hands to give a read. It sounds really good, and I know a lot of people are anticipating this as well, so I'm looking forward to diving into this to seeing what I'm going to think about it. So I selected 2 books on my 18 books to read in 2018, and I selected Beauty Queens by Libba Bray as well as 20 Questions for Gloria by Martin Bedford. So these are my 2 book choices to read for that. I'm especially very excited for Beauty Queens because, you know, being stranded on Lion End as beauty pageants, I think sounds pretty cool. I then got a review book to read from my friend Dane. I'm going to read Driven, Leapfrog book number 1 by Dane Cobain, so I'm going to give his book a read and review this month. I then went on to random.org and I entered all the amount of books that I have, and the number that came up was a book that's in the middle of the Percy Jackson series, so I thought, well, I need to start from the beginning again to reread the first book, so I've put Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief on my TBR. So this is from random.org selection, so I thought, yep, I need to dive into this to get my thoughts on it again. And from my ebook TBR jar, I pulled out The Fear Trials by Lindsay Cummins, which is like a novella that is in the series, but I need to reread the first book again, so I put The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummins on. And I've got this on ebook as well, so I can read this as the ebook if I do so wish, but if I read this, I can probably get to the novella as well. From my TBR jar, I pulled out Desires of the Dead by Kimberly Derting. This is the second book that is in this series. I read the first book, The Body Finder, and so I need to give this book a read. And I pulled a book out from like ebook review books that I haven't got round to reading in time, and I actually pulled one out which I do have a physical copy of, which was handy, and that is Trouble Is a Friend of Mine by Stephanie Trombley, so it's good that I pulled this out. So I do have an e-arc of this as well, but I ended up getting this book in an Owl Crate before I ended my Owl Crate subscription. So yeah, it's good that I have this, and I'm very excited to give it a read. So there's some books that I've also put on my TBR because I'm forwarding them from January just so that I can get them read. I'm not gonna like ignore them this time, because some of them went towards challenges I didn't get around to reading, and you know, I'm gonna put them on this TBR. So the two books that are from my monthly recommendations is Mafiosa by Catherine Doyle, which is the final conclusion in the Vendetta trilogy, or the Blood for Blood trilogy, I can't remember what it's called, and then Letters to the Lost by Bridget Camera. So these were the two books that I picked out my monthly recommendations for January that I'm forwarding on to February. Nemesis by Brendan Reichs is from my 18 books to read in 2018. Didn't get around to reading it in January, so I'm forwarding it on to February. And then lastly, the challenges from the 52-week challenge. I've got to read a dystopian or fantasy, and I chose Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth to read for that challenge. The next challenge is to read a YA bestseller, which I put Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, so I'm forwarding that on to February as well. The next challenge is to read a book that is set in a different country than what I live in, and I selected Pretty Deadly by Joe Schreiber for that one, so I'm forwarding that on to February. And last but not least is a book by an author of a different ethnicity to me, and for that book I put this massive boggled book, 6'4" by Hideo Yokoyama, and I didn't read that in January, so I'm forwarding this on to February as well. So there you have it, guys. That is the end of my February TBR. I'm sorry if I sound really gravelly and manly. Like, I managed to get ill again, so I've got really gravelly. I'm about to go to the dentist as well, so not sure how that's gonna go. That is the end of my TBR. Like I say, I'm going to be selecting books from it, but I'm going to mainly try and focus on like the review books and the book challenge books, and not so much on the others, because they're the ones that I'm challenging myself to read, but I don't want to pressure myself too much. So it's a very ambitious TBR, and I definitely want to be doing the buddy read, so I'm going to be starting that soon as well. So I will let you know what I'm actually currently reading as well, which is Sweet Thing by Rennie Colino. I am currently on page 44 of this. I'm really enjoying it. It's a new adult novel, and I'm reading this for the new adult challenge for January, so I'm getting this book read and completed. So that's the end of this video. Give me a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. All my social media links will be down below, so if you don't want to miss a video, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I upload videos all the time. But other than that, keep smiling, keep reading, and be happy. My name is Katie, and I'll see all of you wonderful awesome people in my next video. Bye!